What up, everybody? In OG Power, we got to hear a few clues named concerning the dynamics of Kanan and Jukebox relationship history that we are also seeing played out right now in the current Raising Kanan timeline. Power Season 3, Kanan was recovering at Jukebox house in Washington, D.C. after being stabbed and left for dead in a burning building by a ghost. But Kanan wasn't trying to tell Jukebox what happened. First, he told her that he got burnt cooking, then told her it happened over a beef over some territory. But Jukebox knew that Kanan was lying. So we can see already from the first conversation between Kanan and Juke in Power that by this point in time, Kanan no longer trusted her. This could definitely be because Jukebox became a cop. Candy, Jukebox's girlfriend, later told Kanan that him and Juke must have been close when they were kids because she has never seen her let anybody stay at the house before. Candy went on to talk about how much respect Jukebox had for Kanan, and that it was Kanan who convinced Jukebox to move to DC and be who she really is. But Kanan's reply was, if she respected me, she would have never became no damn cop. And Jukebox was already demonstrating cop-like behavior in episode 6, when Ronnie approached Kanan at his party when Kanan and them were about to leave and said heads want to meet Kanan. Jukebox straight up told Ronnie that Kanan doesn't want nothing to do with them thugsters. The fact that she called those men thugsters alone is cop talk or snitch talk. Not to mention that Juke had already made it her business to know all the players, even though she's not in the game. Again, more cop-like behavior. Even Kanan is moving different than Rock when it comes to the game. When Snaps mentioned to Kanan that he might have overspoken in front of his lady friends, Kanan went on to tell Snaps that he doesn't mix business with family. This is the exact opposite of what we see Rock do. Rock actually uses her own family members like pieces on a chessboard. We heard Lou in episode 6 call himself Rock's hammer she uses to knock things around with, and even used her own son as a piece on the board in season 1 to try to take out Malcolm Howard so she could protect her secrets. Another way that Kanan is differentiating himself from Rock and Juke is by not saying anything to the CPS officer. After he made his mother look good to please the CPS officer, Miss Walsh, Kanan straight up told Rock that he should have told her that she was the one who put the gun in his bag. But we already know from OG Power, one thing that Kanan's not going to do is snitch and run his mouth, much like Unique. Getting me back to Jukebox at the club. When Kanan, Juke, and Aisha all walked into the club and Ronnie came to greet them, Jukebox said, "Oh, this is your party? Ain't your brother supposed to be missing or something?" I'm not gonna lie, that scene was funny, but at the same time, Juke is speaking out of place. Because I guarantee nobody else at that party, probably even as much as brought Unique up to Ronnie. Like they say, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Just more cop-like behavior demonstrated by Jukebox. And in the episode 7 trailer, we see that Ronnie doesn't really trust Jukebox like that, as she visits Kanan's apartment only to be stopped by 2 security guards. Getting me back to OG Power and the conversation between Kanan and Candy. Kanan was asking for his medicine, but Jukebox told her that Kanan couldn't get any until he came clean with the truth about what really happened to him. And Kanan's reply to that was, "She's always trying to boss me around. She's been doing that since we were kids." And this we saw playing out at the club also. Kanan and Aisha was having a good time, and Juke clearly wasn't. So Juke walked right in between Kanan and Aisha, telling them that they needed to go because they got rehearsal in the morning, and that Kanan needs to go too because he has a business to run. But Ronnie stopped them on the way out, and when Kanan told Juke he was going to stay, Juke told Kanan straight up that Rock wouldn't want him there. And when Kanan stayed and Jukebox walked out, it played suspenseful music as Jukebox stared down Ronnie. Juke almost feels a sense of duty to look out for Kanan as his older cousin. Keep in mind the scene at the park when Kanan was just a kid getting beat down. Juke was there and she was trying to protect Kanan even back then. Then when Kanan and D-Wiz shot Buck 20, the first thing the family asked Juke concerning this was, "Where were you at?" Like they knew that Juke was smart enough to know better and would have stopped them from doing that. So really, even the family has somewhat given Juke the responsibility of looking out for Kanan. But because the fact that Juke showed absolutely no fear or respect for Ronnie, Then it played that suspenseful music as she was walking out the club. I got to wonder if Juke will be the one to take out Ronnie. And this may be how she begins to build up her reputation in the streets. Because by the time we get to the OG Power timeline, both Tommy and Ghost, I'm not going to say they feared her, but at the same time, they knew that she wasn't somebody to be played around with either. Getting me to the scene in Power where Kanan kills Jukebox. After it was all said and done, Kanan walked up to her and said that she was always running her mouth. Now, I don't think this is why he killed her. That was more about saving Tariq. But it is a clue that Juke is going to be a talker in raising Kanan, always running her mouth. And we will definitely begin to see this playing out all the more in episode 7 as Jukebox begin to tell all of Kanan's business to Rock. That Kanan's in the game and that he's now hanging out with some old heads. So now Rock is going to know that Kanan is hanging out with Ronnie and Snaps, who neither have any type of respect for Rock. When Kanan said he didn't want his mother involved, Ronnie said F Rock, and Snaps repeated the same thing. And one last thing I want to bring up before I go. Jukebox's age was confirmed this episode when Shirley asked Marvin how old his daughter was. And he said 18. Most of us already knew this, but that statement just confirms her age. And with that said, we also saw that Juke got accepted into the army. When Marvin came down to say good morning to Juke, she made sure to hide the papers real quick. Now going back again to the same conversation we've been talking about between Candy and Kanan from OG Power. Kanan told Candy that he was there for Juke when her father put her out for being the way she is. Now this sounds like he was actually talking about when Jukebox left home to live with Rock after Marvin put hands on her. But what are the chances that Marvin and Juke clash again, this time when he finds out that Juke is about to go work for the government and join the army? Just another thought to keep in mind. How will Marvin react to Juke applying for the army when he finds this out? And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.